What if everything you were told about the pyramids was wrong? Across the Giza Plateau, massive natural limestone buttes rose from the desert sand, towering hundreds of feet into the golden sky. These were not random formations. They stood in perfect alignment, placed by the earth itself, waiting to be shaped by human hands. A well-dressed foreman, respected by all, directed the operation with dignity and authority. He did not command slaves. He led skilled craftsmen and craftswomen, free people who took pride in their extraordinary work. Together, men and women cleared the sand from these colossal buttes, watering the stone to soften it, revealing the raw material beneath. With copper chisels and steady hands, they carved these monoliths into the geometric perfection of the Great Pyramids. Not built block by block, but sculpted from the living rock of the earth. And the Sphinx, it too was a butte, a long, low formation buried beneath centuries of sand. The workers uncovered it, watered it, and master artisans carved the great lion body and the noble face from a single piece of stone, emerging from the desert like a dream made solid. But these builders were not slaves, not by any measure. They ate well. Abundant meals of fresh bread, roasted meat, figs, dates, and beer were served at communal tables. Laughter and conversation filled their dining halls. They lived well. Clean, comfortable homes of whitewashed mud brick housed their families. Children played freely in the village streets. Women worked as respected artisans alongside the men, equals in skill and dignity. The foreman treated every worker with honor. This was a community bound by purpose, not by chains. They rested in the shade during the heat of midday. They gathered around fires in the evening to share stories and music. They were cared for, valued, and proud. But the pyramid's purpose extended far beyond what we have been taught. Workers covered the completed pyramids in sheets of hammered copper and crowned each one with a solid gold capstone. Copper on limestone, with moisture between the layers, created an electrochemical reaction. A Baghdad battery, scaled to the size of mountains. The pyramids generated electricity. At night, energy crackled from the golden capstones into the dark sky. Inside the chambers, streams of power flowed through granite passages like living circuits. The ancient city of Memphis blazed with light, streets were illuminated, buildings glowed from within. An advanced civilization, powered by pyramid electricity, thrived along the Nile. The three pyramids formed a triangular power grid, energy arcing between their peaks, feeding a network that stretched across the land. This was not primitive. This was engineering beyond our current understanding. And the pharaohs, they flew. Golden vimanas, flying craft of extraordinary design, lifted from platforms beside the pyramids. These vessels rode the ley lines, the magnetic energy lines that crisscross the earth in a precise geometric grid, connecting every sacred site on the planet. Giza to Stonehenge, Machu Picchu to Angkor Wat, Easter Island to the temples of Karnak, all connected by invisible highways of magnetic force. The pharaohs traveled these lines in their golden craft, arriving at distant temples in moments, greeted by priests who had been expecting them. This is why the pyramids were built where they were. This is why sacred sites align across the globe. The ley lines were the roads, the pyramids were the power stations, the vimanas were the vehicles. But perhaps the most profound truth lies not in the pyramids themselves, but in the tombs within them. And here we must understand the ancient Egyptians' deepest knowledge of the human spirit. When a noble died, the priests gathered every single object that person had touched in life, every piece of jewelry they wore, every chair they sat in, every cup they drank from, every tool they used, because every object a person touches in life absorbs a fragment of their soul. All of these belongings were placed inside the tomb with the mummy, every last one. If even a single object was missing, a piece of the soul would remain scattered, unable to reunite, unable to find peace. And what of the objects that could not fit in the tomb? They were burned, ceremonially, reverently, set alight so the soul fragments attached to them would be released, freed from their physical anchors. But the tomb served another purpose, perhaps the most important of all. The paintings and hieroglyphs on the walls told the complete story of the deceased person's life. Every achievement, every joy, every relationship, and crucially, they depicted how the person died and stated clearly that they were dead. This was not decoration, this was a message to the spirit. When the soul awakened in the tomb, confused and disoriented, it could read the walls. It could see its own life story. It could understand what had happened. It could comprehend that it had died. And in that understanding, it could accept its death, release its attachment to the physical world, and ascend peacefully into the afterlife. Without this, the spirit would be lost, confused, wandering in darkness, not knowing it was dead, unable to move on, trapped between worlds forever. This is why the tombs were built with such extraordinary care, not out of vanity or wealth, but out of profound compassion for the soul. And this care extended to everyone, not only the nobles. Common people, those who could not afford grand tombs, had their life stories carved into the inside of their coffins. Their possessions were buried with them. Their tales were told in simpler form, but with equal purpose. Every person deserved to know they had died. Every soul deserved the chance to move on. This was not superstition. This was precision spiritual engineering, practiced by a civilization far more advanced than we have ever given them credit for. The pyramids were not built by slaves dragging blocks. They were carved from the earth by free, proud, well-cared-for people. They were not tombs, they were power stations. And the tombs within them were not monuments to ego. They were technologies of compassion, designed to guide the soul safely home. Look at the pyramids again and see them for what they truly were.